Good afternoon. Today's Tuesday, July 8th. I'll go ahead and call the Traffic Committee meeting for July to order. Currently, it is 3:02 p.m. So we will go ahead and start off with introducing the Traffic Committee. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name's Robert. I am the CIP Project Manager.
Joanne Burns, Deputy Community Development Director.
Ahmad Ansari. I'm the acting city engineer today.
Okay. And I'm Brian Cervantes. I'll be emceeing the meeting. As well, we have Jana Robbins here to answer any traffic-related questions. So moving down the agenda, the Traffic Committee items that were taken to the previous Traffic Committee meeting. There was 2 items that went to last month's meeting, which was the traffic review of East Puente Avenue from North Azusa Avenue to South Armel Drive. And the second was the traffic review of Fairway Lane in East Garvey Avenue North. So those items will be taken to City Council for final approval for any new items being installed. And then we'll move on to our third item, which is the new Traffic Committee items. Today we have 3 items, and we'll go ahead and jump into the first one, which is the traffic review of Montezuma Way and Citrus Street. For this request, the resident is requesting for a review for always stop at the intersection due to line of sight as well as speeding concerns. And for the existing conditions at this intersection, along Citrus Street, the speed limit's 40 miles per hour, whereas Montezuma Way is 25 miles per hour. Citrus Street is 40 feet in width, and Montezuma Way is 36 feet. Citrus Street has one 20-foot lane in each direction, whereas Montezuma has one 18-foot in each direction. Citrus Street is a Marnero arterial road, whereas Montezuma Way is a local street from the Caltrans road classification system map. And then for the intersection, there is existing red curb. There's 110 feet of red curb on the southwest corner of the intersection and 30 feet of red curb on the southeast corner of the intersection. Both of those are along Citrus Street. And as part of this review, we obtained collision data from the statewide integrated traffic record system, or SWITRS, over approximately a 3-year period between January 2022 through June of 2025. From this review, it was found that there was 1 collision reported along this segment. Additionally, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on Tuesday, June 24th of 2025. Additionally, regarding the speeding concerns, average daily traffic, or regarding the always stop request, average daily traffic counts were collected on Tuesday, April 22nd of 2025. From this review, it was found that in the northbound direction, there was 1,019 vehicles per day, southbound 1,022 vehicles per day, for a total for the north-south direction at 2,041 vehicles per day. For the eastbound-westbound direction, which was taken at Montezuma Way 200 feet west of Citrus Street, in the eastbound direction, there was 236 vehicles per day. For westbound, there was 208 vehicles per day, for a total of 444 vehicles per day. And additionally, to address the speed concerns at this location, a 24-hour speed sample was taken on Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. From this review, for the northbound direction, it was found that the 85th percentile speed was 47 miles per hour. And for the southbound direction, the 85th percentile speed was 45 miles per hour. For both the northbound and southbound direction, the posted speed limit is 40 miles per hour. So here you can see a summary of vehicular and pedestrian volume thresholds for always stop control. So like I noted, this was a request for always stop control, so we did review the volumes we found in order to see if it would qualify for always stop control. And as it could see here, it didn't meet any of the thresholds during those times. So now, based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM UTCD, or California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, and California Vehicle Code, or CVC, it was determined that the intersection of Montezuma Way and Citrus Street does not meet warrant criteria for the installation of an always stop control at this time. The intersection does not exhibit the minimum collision volumes required for the consideration of an always stop controlled intersection, as stated in the CAM UTCD, section 2B.07. So at this time, the recommendations are as follows. 1, to remove and replace the faded stop sign on the south side of Montezuma Way at the intersection. 2, install cross traffic does not stop plaque underneath that stop sign that was recommended in item 1. 3, remove and replace the faded stop ahead warning signs located on south side Montezuma Way for northbound traffic. 4, replace the faded red curb. And 5, refresh and extend the existing red curb located on Citrus Street west of Montezuma Way. And then additionally, install speed feedback sign on the east side of Citrus Street, approximately 30 feet south of Las Rosas Drive, on the existing 40-mile-per-hour speed limit sign. Install an adjacent 40-mile-per-hour pavement marking for the northbound direction. Remove and replace the faded 40-mile-per-hour speed limit sign for a new oversized speed limit sign on the west side of Citrus Street and remove and replace the existing side road sign W2-2 that is located on the east side of Citrus Street. I don't believe we have any comments from the audience on this item. We'll move on to comments from committee members on the item.
I have none.
I have no comments. I agree with the recommendations.
I'll make a motion to move forward with staff recommendation.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Alrighty, so this item will be sent to the city council for final approval.
Robert, can I have ask a question?
Yes.
On this, is Public Works gonna do red curb, or is it just replace the signs?
I think if it's,
They're gonna do red curb, if it's,
They're adding some new red curb.
okay.
So they're refreshing, and then they're adding.
John, I think if they're already there.
Yeah, I
maintenance
think,
should be able to do
yeah, I think Public Works should be able to do 1 through 5, and then number 8. Unless, except for the pavement marking on number 8. So,
So that has to be contract.
well, that would have to, it has to go through city council, because it's not remove and replace. Yeah.
Well, everything is going to city council, right? I mean.
No, because we've received direction that if it's existing and if it's faded, if it's a maintenance issue, then we just forward it to
Maintenance.
maintenance, since it's a maintenance issue, that should
But
be.
if it's new, then.
If it's new, then
I
it has
see.
to go to city council.
I see. Makes sense.
Okay. So we will move on to our second item, which is the traffic review of South Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue. For this, the city received a request to review South Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue. It was reported that there is no visibility of vehicles coming down Fairgrove Avenue, which makes it difficult for drivers to make left turns from Nelson Street onto Fairgrove Avenue. And for this, the resident is requesting the installation of an always stop control at this location. For the existing conditions, Nelson Street has a 25-mile-per-hour prima facie speed limit. Fairgrove Avenue has a posted 35-mile-per-hour speed limit. There is stop control along the northbound direction of South Nelson Street. Per the Caltrans road classification system map, Nelson Street is designated as a local road, whereas Fairgrove Avenue is a major collector road. There is currently red curb at the location. There's 87 feet of red curb on the southwest corner of the intersection and 30 feet on the southeast corner of the intersection. For the street widths, Fairgrove Avenue is 45 feet wide with 125.5-foot travel lane in each direction, and Nelson Street is 40 feet wide with 120-foot lane in each direction. As part of this review, we looked at the collision history from Switters over a 3-year period between January 2022 through January 2025, and it was found that there was 2 collisions reported during this review period. And additionally, field examination site photos was completed on Tuesday, June 24th of 2025. Additionally, for the request for the all-way stop sign, average daily traffic counts were collected on Tuesday, May 6th of 2025. From this, it was found that in the northbound direction, there was 573 vehicles per day. And for the southbound direction, there was 685 vehicles per day for a total of 1,258 vehicles per day for the north-south direction. For the east-west direction, for the eastbound, there was 1,584 vehicles per day. Westbound 1,761 vehicles per day, for a total of 3,345 vehicles per day for the east-west direction. Additionally, to assess the speed concerns, a 24-hour speed sample was taken on Tuesday, May 6th of 2025. From this review, the 85th percentile speed was found to be 34 miles per hour, and the posted speed limit along this segment is 35 miles per hour. Additionally, a line of sight analysis was done to assess if additional red curb would be needed. And then regarding the request for an all-way stop, we did review the location against the all-way stop warrant criterias, and this did not meet any of the time frames for the all-way stop sign to be installed. So now, based on engineering judgment, the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines and guidelines found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, the location at Fairgrove Avenue and Nelson Street does not qualify for the installation of an all-way stop control at this time. The traffic volumes recorded did not show either street to have the sufficient traffic volumes to warrant the installation of an all-way stop control. So at this time, the recommendations are as follow. 1, to install cross-traffic does not stop plaque and red reflective posts underneath the existing stop sign along Nelson Street. 2, install stop ahead W3-1 sign and pavement markings on the east side of Nelson Street, approximately 130 feet south of Fairgrove Avenue. 3, refresh the existing red curb that is located on the intersection. 4, refresh and extend the existing red curb that is located along the south side of Fairgrove Avenue, east of Nelson Street, approximately, or for the new total to be approximately 75 feet. And then to remove and replace the faded curb warning sign W1-2 and advisory 35 mile per hour speed limit sign W13-1P, and replace those for replace the existing signs for new curve warning signs and advisory 3 mile per hour speed limit signs. So those recommendations are on the north side and south side of Fairgrove Avenue for both directions of travel. So I believe we had a audience comment on this one? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that, all the recommendations. The only thing I noticed though, when you make a left turn on the Fairgrove off of Nelson, where the line's at, it needs to be closer to the Fairgrove, because if you stop there, you absolutely cannot see the cars coming off of the Zeus on Fairgrove going westbound. So I know you can't move the stop sign physically because it's right on the corner if you zoom in on it, but the line where you stop needs to be closer to Fairgrove.
Yeah,
So, because there's no way you can see a car coming westbound if you stop where it's at right now. So that's the only recommendation I could tell you at this time. Because actually there was a person about a month ago that went straight. They didn't even stop. They had to been drunk, because a couple neighbors called the police, but he was in the field right across. He went straight through the stop sign, up the curb, and into the tree area. And so like I said, I don't know if his brakes failed or he just kept going straight. And then there was another accident where a Tesla came flying around that intersection. You probably have a record of it, and he hit 2 parked cars. So that's the only thing that. But you said there was just 2 accidents in 3 years, right? Reported,
yeah, to the police. So there might be others that weren't reported that we wouldn't have record of.
right. But I agree with all the recommendations. The only thing is just move that line up a little bit. I
We're
don't know
talking
if
about
that's
the street
possible.
marking?
No, the stop bar.
The stop
stop
bar.
bar.
This
So we
here,
only,
from
we
here
could,
to
we
there.
take it, we could take a relook at that where it
Yeah.
is. Just the problem is you can't block the ADA ramp. So that may be why it's where it is in
Well, the stop
position.
sign you can't move.
No, the stop sign, but the
But-
bar,
But the
yeah.
bar, yeah, you'd
Yeah, we
have to.
can't put it in the way of the
Yeah.
ramp.
Yeah.
So it's kinda like you have to kinda inch your way up after you cross
That's
the
what-
bar, you
that's
know?
what I do.
Supposedly, you know?
Yeah, the people that live there know that, but
Mm-hmm.
there's an apartment building on one side and condos on the other side, and you get a lot of visitors that don't normally live
Something
here,
like that,
so
yeah. Oh.
that's the issue that I can, because if you stop there, you
Yeah.
cannot see the cars coming down the street, so that.
Yeah,
that
we can
will
take
create-
a,
Right there,
you know.
yeah, exactly.
So what you're saying is if you're here, it's hard to see
No, cars coming
At
down.
the,
This direction.
the stop
That's where the
bar.
problem
Going
is.
west.
Right, and you're focused so much on the cars going westbound, sometimes you forget about the cars coming
Coming closer
east.
to you, yeah.
So that's happened to me. These are just personal experiences, and then other neighbors that express the same concerns, so. But
What's, Jana, what's the minimum distance?
Well, you
Is-
can't put it in the, the ADA ramp area.
I see.
yeah.
So that's the problem, we
Just
run
in the
into
corner.
with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Is that if you, even if you don't put the sign there, but the stop bar, you're
Where
not
you
supposed
stop.
to, yeah. Because you're impeding it supposedly, and then you can't put it in front of it, because then a car would block it if they're
Correct.
sitting there, so. But that's the only thing we could, take a relook.
Yeah, but I
Unfortunately, we're
agree
not
with
connected to
extending the red
internet.
line across, make it a little bit longer where that, on Fairgrove, where the cars are coming down. I think
Yeah.
it's extend a little farther. Because when there's a bunch of cars parked there, for sure you can't see the cars coming westbound, so. Yeah, that was the only thing I had, so. I agree with all the recommendations.
So people just have to, kind
That's
of.
what
You
they
kinda, well, now it's just it's acceptable to do what they call the inch forward method.
Right.
Before, when we did line of sight,
Peeking,
it
peeking,
was like,
basically.
you had, we did the clear, clear corner or 15 feet back and this and that, but now
Right.
they've found that that wasn't reasonable, you know?
Right, yeah.
Do any of the trees block the view?
No,
Or,
they do
or
not.
no, they're
Tall
set,
enough.
No.
set back far enough, huh?
Yeah, it's not, that's the only thing is if you stop right where you're supposed to stop, there's no way you can see the
Yeah.
cars going westbound
Okay.
for sure. And then on Nelson Street, I believe with the new law, we talked about that, they should be painted red, that curve, because cars park right up to the intersection, so, but that really doesn't interfere with making a
Line
left-hand
of
turn,
sight, yeah.
but I just thought I'd mention that.
We'll probably
too.
have, the city will determine, but they
Right.
can inform code enforcement, make them aware of that law, so.
Right, I think that's, because they come by there all the time, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So now are there any comments from the committee members on the item?
Not me.
None, it's just that 3, 4, and 5 would be forwarded to maintenance.
Even if we're putting, I think, it just says extend.
You are extending the red curve.
Extending, yeah,
Mhm.
So
so,
that has to be approved, right?
Is the extension of the red curb, is that based on just the line of sight? Or
Yes.
is it like a daylight, based on the
no,
daylighting?
line of sight, because it has, it's gonna be sort of total of 75 feet.
Okay, yeah,
So-
so, I'm sorry, then number 4 also.
Would
Number
be-
4 would be sent to council.
Okay, so just number 3,
Number 3 and number 5.
5, okay.
So Jana and Joanne, I just have a question. So when the item goes to the city council, you only limit the item to the work that they have to approve, right?
Yes.
You don't include
No.
the entire story, of the intersection.
No, we include the entire story of the intersection. It's just that
The
the
recommendation
recommendation
would be for the
would
new
just be
stuff.
for the new stuff.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because the old stuff is already
Right, correct.
forwarded to maintenance to take care of prior to.
Okay.
So what we will be doing going forward for the next, the next batch that goes to council is we'll have exhibits that take out, we'll have the report with everything. Then we'll have the exhibit that goes to Public Works with just their items, and then exhibit that goes to council with the items that are new.
Mhm.
Okay. Are there any other comments? If not,
No.
Did they approve it?
yeah.
No,
Do you-
I agree with the recommendation, only if we can look into that, stop bar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I second that.
Yes, I second it as well.
Alrighty.
You
so-
second that as well?
Sorry.
You
I
third
vote for it.
that.
I third that, yes. I third
Alrighty,
it.
so all in favor of approving it with the additional relook at the stop bar?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and forward that item to city council. And then for our third and final item, we have the review of South Walnut Avenue between East Vine Avenue and East Francisquito Avenue, or just Francisquito Avenue. And then this one, for this one, a resident requested a traffic calming review along the segments of South Walnut Avenue between East Vine Avenue and Francisquito Avenue. The resident expressed concerns about vehicles speeding through these segments and emphasized the presence of South Walnut Grove Intermediate School and Walmerado Park. And the resident is requesting the installation of traffic calming measures along this segment. For this review, since it was a longer segment, it was divided into two segments. So the first one is going to be the northern segment, which is South Walnut Avenue between East Vine Avenue and East Merced Avenue. For the existing conditions, the posted speed limit along this segment is 25 miles per hour. As well, the segment length is approximately 1,290 feet in length. The street's 40 feet wide with one 20-foot lane of travel in each direction, and parking is allowed on both sides except for locations marked with red curb. As part of this review, we got collision data from Switters over approximately a 3-year period between January 2022 through June of 2025. From this, it was found that there was 2 vehicles reported during this time period along the segment. Additionally, average daily traffic counts were taken on Tuesday, May 6th of 2025. From this, it was found that for the northbound direction, there was 1,659 vehicles per day, 1,269 vehicles in the southbound direction, for a total of 2,928 vehicles per day. Additionally, a 24-hour speed survey was taken on Tuesday, May 6th of 2025. From this survey, the 85th percentile speed came back at 33 miles per hour, and the posted speed limit along the segment is 25 miles per hour. Additionally, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on June 24th of 2025. And additionally, we did have we went over that. So now, based on engineering judgment and in accordance with the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines, as well as guidelines found in the CAM, UTCD, and CVC, the location qualifies for the following recommendations. 1, the installation of a 25 mile per hour speed limit sign on the west side of South Walnut Avenue, south of East Vine. 2, the installation of 25 mile per hour speed limit sign on the west side of Walnut Avenue, north of East Merced Avenue. 3, installation of transverse rumble strips along both directions of South Walnut Avenue at 2 locations for the northbound direction or 1 for the northbound and 1 for the southbound direction. Additionally, the installation of a school zone sign on the west side of South Walnut Avenue set for southbound traffic. And 5, remove and replace the existing faded sign that is located on the east side of South Walnut Avenue. And lastly, number 6 is to remove and replace the faded school zone sign that is located on the east side of South Walnut Avenue for northbound travel. And then, do you guys want to discuss this portion first, approve this, and go into the next, or all in one?
We can just discuss it.
Okay.
And then, or discuss it.
So there's no comments from the audience on this item. Are there any comments from committee members on this item for the segment 1?
Just 5 and 6 to maintenance and the rest to council.
But even signs needs
If,
council.
yes, well, if it's to remove and replace it because it's faded or, then it gets just forwarded to maintenance. But if it's for new signs.
Even signs? yeah,
Yes.
okay. Now, I have a question which is kind of unrelated to this. You know, I'm seeing, and maybe that's a question to you folks. I'm seeing a lot of, recommendation from the traffic engineer that has to do with refresh or remove and replace. I mean, are those types of things that, Public Works Maintenance and Operation has a routine, proactive way to just go around the city and refresh those? I mean, regardless of whether we have an item or we don't? I mean, from the operation standpoint.
We can verify with them, but from what I understand, the staffing is
I see.
short,
I
and then
see.
so So at times, even though they would like to be proactive, at times they're not able to because of the staffing and the workload. So, but if it's something that is looked at by the traffic committee, and it pertains to safety, then that's,
They prioritize.
That's
that.
prioritized, yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Any other comments from the committee members?
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. So we'll route this item to council. So now let's get started on our second segment, which is for South Walnut Avenue between East Merced and Francisquito. And this is south of segment 1. For the existing conditions for this segment, the posted speed limit is 25 miles per hour. This segment is also approximately 1,290 feet in each direction, or for the length, and is 40 feet wide with one 20-foot wide lane in each direction. And parking is allowed on both sides where there is no red curb posted. Additionally, for this segment, collision data was obtained from Switters over a 3-year period between January 2022 through June of 2025. From this review, it was found that there was 2 collisions reported along this segment. Additionally, average daily traffic counts was taken on May 6th of 2025. Along this segment, in the northbound direction, there was 2,299 vehicles. For the southbound direction, there was 2,490 vehicles per day, for a total along the segment of 4,789 vehicles per day. Additionally, a 24-hour speed sample was taken on Tuesday, May 6th of 2025. From this speed sample, the 85th percentile speed came back at 33 miles per hour, and the posted speed limit is 25 miles per hour along the segment. Additionally, a field visit and site photos were taken on Tuesday, June 24th of 2025. And based on engineering judgment and in accordance with the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines, as well as guidelines outlined in the CAM UTCD and CBC, this segment qualifies for the following recommendations, which is to remove and replace the 25 mile per hour speed limit sign on the west side of South Walnut Avenue for southbound traffic, and to install a 25 mile per hour pavement marking for both the southbound direction along this segment adjacent to the recommended 25 mile per hour speed limit sign. And there's no comments from the audience on this item. Are there any comments from the committee members?
So on the north side of Merced, we included the transverse rumble strips? Is that because of school zone?
Yes.
Okay.
So item 2 requires.
Yes, number 1 is forwarded to maintenance. The remove and replace the existing 25 mile per hour speed limit sign. And then number 2 is gonna be forwarded to city council.
I finally got it.
Are there any other comments from any of the committee members on this?
No.
I'm good.
All right. All those in favor of approving and sending to Public Works or Council?
Aye.
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 Great, so this item passes and will be sent forward to the city council. Now we'll move on with our agenda. Audience comments on items not on the agenda. We didn't have any comments submitted. Are there any committee member comments on items on the agenda?
Well, it was on the agenda, but for the Nelson Street, the bar, if we can see if we can bring that to the next traffic committee meeting. Mainly because after the August meeting, the September meeting, because of the new ordinance, it will be held at the traffic committee meeting will be held on Wednesdays. On the third Wednesday of every month at, I believe, 6 o'clock at the community room.
Which room?
Community room.
Is that the one in front of the council?
Council chamber, yes.
So
Third.
no longer on Tuesday at 3.
No longer at Tuesday.
Wednesday 6.
Wednesday 6th, the
They
the
want a
third-
bigger turnout,
Yes,
probably. yeah.
the third Wednesdays of the month, starting in September.
September. Yeah, we won't bring that item unless we can move it.
Okay.
If it's the ADA ramp is what I suspect
Mhm.
is there, then we won't be able to move it.
Okay.
But if it's not and we can move it forward, then we'll bring it
Okay.
next month.
That sounds good.
All right. Any other committee member comments? Not on the agenda? All righty.
No.
Good.
Then I'll go ahead and adjourn this month's meeting. Our next meeting will be the second Tuesday of the month in August at 3 p.m. And that will be the last meeting at this current time or with this schedule. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Awesome,
Thanks.
thank you.